Hello friends, Survive with Knife here, and I'm finally taking my trip that I've been talking about, an overnight trip in my kayak. I'll be heading out on this lake right out here, and I'm going to be spending a night in my hammock, and there's a good chance we're in for some rain. As usual, I'm combating fading light, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to videotape or record this evening, but I will do the best that I can and bring you guys along on the trip. So I'm going to get a kayak down from the top and get it loaded up with all my gear, and we're going to head out and we're going to see what the adventure brings. So tag along, guys. Okay guys, I've been on the water just for about 10 minutes or so. It's been drizzling a little bit, so it's a little wet. Just trying to pay attention, make sure there's no lightning. Don't want to be out here with lightning, but here's the lake I'm on. I'm going to paddle up alongside this beach. I have a place that I want to go to. It's about, if I remember right, it was only about a mile paddle or so. So I got a little ways to go, but we will see if the conditions get too bad. They're really good now, but if they get too bad, I'll just have to pull off to the side somewhere and just set up camp. So, okay guys, we will catch you in a bit. Okay. I'm going to do a little scout of this area. See if this is where I want to stay tonight. Hey guys, hey, sorry I haven't been able to do any videotaping, but I'm here. All set up. It's about 8:30. I've eaten part of my dinner already. Had some pork and beans and some summer sausage. And got my hammock and everything all set up. I did find a spot that I liked, and it's close to the edge of the lake, so I can see the lake in the morning. That's what I was hoping for. And so I'm all set with my campsite. I'll show that to you tomorrow morning. But on this trip I brought, I've never tried one of these Coleman meals. I've got several of them at home, but I have yet to try one. So I've had this setting for a little over 10 minutes hydrating. I just looked at it. It's really runny. It asked for 14 ounces of water. I thought that was a little much. It appears I made a chili soup instead, so I may have to end up drinking it, but at least see how it tastes. So I will get back with you guys in a moment and let you know how this goes, and then after that we'll just catch you in the morning. Okay, well, it is very hot, so I'm going to let it sit for a little longer. The taste is not too bad. I think it is a vegetarian. There's no actual meat in it, which is disappointing to me, but I'm kind of a meat guy. But the taste isn't bad. If I would do a comparison to Mountain House, I would say Mountain House at this point wins out. I may try a couple others yet. I still have some at home, so I may try those yet. Well, obviously I'll probably eat them at some point. I'm not going to let them go to waste. I also have a bunch of Wise food, which I've never tried any of that either, so I should bring some of that along for a trip. Maybe I'll test some of that out. My wife and I are doing a campground camping, or state park camping, in the end of February in the northern part of Florida, Swanee River area. And maybe I'll try some Wise food there, just to test it out. But I'll bring you guys along on that trip too, so that's something that's coming up. You guys can expect to see on the channel. So maybe I'll catch you guys a little bit later tonight. We'll do a little bit of chit-chat in the hammock, just let you know how it's going. Talk about my setup and my trip so far. So maybe I'll catch you guys just a little bit later. Okay guys, in my hammock here. You can hear the rain coming down. It's coming down quite steadily right now. Quite comfortable here in my setup. I'll show it to you tomorrow. I'll let you know if there's any failures, if I get wet in any way. But so far it's been drizzling for quite a while, and I've been good. So I'll show you my setup in the morning and do a little bit more videoing tomorrow morning. So it's really wet around here. It's been raining for the last about 3 days, so a really wet environment. So okay guys, well, I am going to hit the sack and I will touch base with you guys in the morning. Well, good morning guys. I am up and about. This is my setup for the night. I'll show it to you guys in a little bit more detail here after breakfast. I'm going to get myself coffee brewing here, and using my S-bit cook set for my cooking on this trip. I'm using this set quite a bit lately. Really liking the alcohol stoves. Just, they're light and they just work well. It's been a great night. It did rain off and on, but my system kept me nice and dry. It's the first I've actually hammocked in the rain. I've never been able to catch rain. For some reason you'd think I could here in Florida, but been out in the hammock quite a bit, but never able to be able to camp in the rain. So I was actually, that's what I wanted. I wanted it to rain, so it did. It rained quite a bit, so that's really really soothing for going to sleep too. Is rain. It's nice to hear it on the tarp. Know that you're nice and dry, and everything's all squared away. Okay, just put some alcohol in there. I'm gonna have some oatmeal and some coffee, but I'm gonna brew up some coffee first here. My little fire kit. Using the always awesome Victorinox Farmer again. There we go. It's lit up. By the way, I didn't tell you guys correctly last night, that Coleman meal. I want to represent that correctly. It actually does have chicken meat in it. I said it didn't have any meat in it, but it did have chicken meat in it. Weird thing is I didn't see any chicken meat in it, but it was is listed in the ingredients on the back, so didn't taste any chicken meat in it, but it was supposedly there. It was alright. On a scale of 1 to 10, probably rated a 7. If I ever get it again, I might get it again. That was the only one I had. But if I ever get it again, I might just just add less water. I add way too much water in it. So carrying the Spyderco Tenacious, the green one, on this trip. Just an awesome, very affordable. Wouldn't call it a cheap knife. I would call it an affordable knife. Okay, well, I'm gonna get my coffee brew going here, and I'm gonna enjoy that, and then some oatmeal, and we will catch you guys in a bit. I'll show you guys around. I'll show you guys the area. I'll show you where I've got my kayak, and show you guys my setup. So, catch you in a bit. Okay guys, I want to quickly go over my setup so you guys could see where I camped and how I camped. Most of my setup is ENO, or Eagle Nest Outfitters. Now some of you guys may think there's better systems out there, but this is the one that works for me. I'm not saying it's the best, but it does work well, and it's light and compact. So I made these hanging straps myself. Well, actually I had my mom sew them up for me. She's got a sewing machine, I don't, but I put them together. And I put a stick in here to keep it from sliding, but I've just pulled this stick out and pull on this cord, and it just comes apart. Everything quickly, very quickly. All my tie downs, if I give this a pull right here, the bug line right here for my bug net just disconnects. Same way with my right here, my line for the tarp. If I just give this a tug, the whole thing comes down. Got it tied out to saw palmetto leaf right there. Works really well. Inside here, what I slept with last night was I used a Thermarest pad actually in here. You might have seen this pad before in a previous video, and I just used a fleece sleeping bag, and then I used the SOL Escape Bivy. You guys have seen that. That is a great piece of kit, something that you guys should all look at getting. Just a great piece of kit. It's waterproof, it's breathable, it's not it's obviously reusable, not like some of the other bivvies out there, emergency type bivvies. It's very compact and light, and you can use it as an outer shell for a sleeping bag to add, you know, maybe up to 10 to 15 degrees to your sleeping bag. And I found it very useful here in Florida. If weather gets down to low 50s and 40s, I mean, I'll just use my fleece sleeping bag and the SOL bivvy. That's all I'll use. So, and it's worked well for me, and I've had it down into the upper 40s, and it's been fine. So it's a good lightweight option for backpacking or obviously kayak camping. I'm going to show you where I'm at. Everything is very, very wet. Rain last night again. You can see I've been knocking off the water off my tarp here. This is the ENO Fast Fly tarp. I really like this tarp. I'm actually trying to get it to dry out here, and I'm going to give it a coat of silicone spray while I have it up here. I brought it along with me to just help waterproof it. Down here on the edge of the lake is my kayak. You can see it there. Got it covered up with the Bushcraft USA MEST tarp. That is a great little tarp, woodland camo. I've used that tarp for overnighters also. Just a nice small little tarp. I think it's 5x7, but it works great for covering up the kayak. I still got gear in there, so I didn't flip it upside down. So I just covered it up with that. That camouflaged it well. But it's really wet around here. There's the lake. Give you a little view of the lake there. So I'm going to be packing up here and heading out. We'll be catching up with you guys on the way out. I wanted to quickly go over how I kept dry on this trip. It was raining as I was kayaking. It was raining yesterday, not while I was setting everything up, but afterwards. It's just been raining basically off and on the whole time. So everything is wet around you. Also, when you kayak, when you're paddling, you're splashing water all over the place, even if it's not raining. So how did I keep dry? I actually kept perfectly dry. I didn't get wet at all. My socks, my feet, my pants, my core, I didn't get wet at all. And the gear I used for that, and that I'm very happy with, I've already done basically a review on the Marmot Precip jacket, but Marmot also makes Precip waterproof pants, and I have these on right now. I have these pulled over my regular pants. I could wear them without the pants underneath, but right now I just have them pulled over. And this is what I wore to keep my legs dry while I was kayaking or just trekking through the bush when I was doing the scout and stuff. And they just worked really well. Didn't get wet at all. Very, very happy with these. These are great pants. These are a great accompaniment with the Precip jacket. However, this here jacket is not the Precip jacket. This is the ex officio, if I'm saying that correctly, Rain Logic jacket. This is a little bit more expensive than the Precip jacket. It has more features. I really love this jacket. It's quieter. The material is quieter. I would say it's probably more breathable. At least it seems that way to me in my use of it. It's got armpits, just like the armpit zips, just like the Marmot Precip does. But it has just some really nice features that I just want to. I'm going to do probably a full review on this, but I'll just do kind of a preview of this. I want to get some more wet time on this jacket. I've had it in. This is probably the third time I've had it in wet weather, in rain. So it's performed well, very well up to this point, just like the Marmot always has for me. But it just has some really great features. It has more pockets than what the Marmot Precip does. It has a pocket here. Instead of storm flaps, it has sealed zippers instead. Sealed zipper pocket here on the side. And then inside, you have a pocket right here for something like a cell phone or an MP3 player. And over on this side, we have another pocket with like a little key lanyard and everything in here, so we have another pocket over here. Now, this jacket here just takes things to the next level a little bit. I really like the way the drawstrings work on this than my Marmot. Right here are the drawstrings, and inside here there's a little cord stop right here that you can just squeeze, and you can tighten and loosen up your hood this way through this drawstring here. Now, the one thing you want to be careful when I first got it, these are bungee cords, and I was pulling on it and it slipped, and it actually hit me right up here on my cheekbone, almost hit my eye. So got to watch out for that. That's a little bit of a downside on this. I'm not sure they should have used bungee straps here. But another great feature is that you can tighten up the drawstring here on the bottom of the jacket from underneath here, which is very common. But inside your pocket, you actually have the drawstring to tighten up the bottom of the jacket, which I think is just a really good feature. So that with your hands in the pocket, you can actually tighten it up. So that's a great feature. Material's more quiet, like I said, more breathable. I like the coloration. This one, the Marmot preset, you can get in so many different colors. You're gonna pick that one up from anywhere. If you do a lot of shopping around, you might find the Marmot preset for as low as $50. I wouldn't pay more than $100 for it. This one here, if you're lucky, you might find it under $100. I got this one for $100, but it MSRP's for $170 or $200, somewhere around that range. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, just a lot of really great features on this jacket. It's just, you can see a lot of care taken to detail on just the different things that they've done with the jacket. So really liking it. Worked well for me on this trip, and I'll probably be doing a full review on it at some point. So there you guys go. I'm gonna go start packing up my stuff. Well guys, it's been a good trip. I'm headed back right now. All packed up, ready to go. It's a warm morning. A few clouds in the sky, but it doesn't look like we've got any rain coming. So it's probably gonna take me about an hour to paddle back. Somewhere around there. And I'll do a recap at the end of the trip. I do want to show you also the boots that I wore on this trip. They worked very well. So I'll cover those once I get back. And we'll just close out the trip. So there you go, guys. This trip is almost over. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. Okay guys, I have the kayak all packed up, all my gear stowed into the vehicle, and I'm ready to go. But as promised, I was going to show you guys the boots that I used on this trip. And here they are. They are the North Face Storm Mid hiking boots. Very nice. I'll do probably a more detailed review on them in the future, but they're waterproof. The waterproof membrane, I had them in water all the way up to about right here, and I didn't get my feet wet at all. So it's really wet conditions out there last night and this morning, and had to wade through a lot of water and muck and mud, and they really held up quite well. Really muddy right now, so I'm going to have to clean them off, but they performed very well. This is my second, not these particular ones, but it's my second pair of North Face hiking shoes, and I've been very happy with them. They've performed well for me so far, so I'll probably do a more detailed review of these in the future. So there you go. I'm going to jump into the Jeep and go grab a cheeseburger.